Alright, so we're taking the TA-1A3 out, 430mm Mark 108s. Aircraft likes to stay at around 400 miles an hour. I kind of fly it more like I would a heavy. Kind of intercepting other heavies is going to be its real claim to fame here. If we can get the guns to make contact. Come on, where is it? As you can see, big hits. Essentially a very nimble version of a 262. What do I got here? I'll leave him behind. I don't want to get in a dogfight with that thing. Cool. Pressing through. Like I said, we fly it kind of like a more nimble heavy. Good at doing bomber intercept. Most light fighters tend to have a bit of an issue with the amount of damage that can come out of some of these bombers, so this aircraft does pretty well at being able to handle that because it can do so much damage so quickly. So you don't get stuck in the tail gun as long. Essentially is what I'm trying to say here. Alright, let's go ahead and hammer that boost down. Single engine fighter, pretty speedy. Doesn't mean you don't want to be cautious with overheating the guns, because it always stinks to overheat guns. Oof, got him. Okay. Can use the same type of impact from these strong guns to be able to go after ground attackers, and it still works out pretty well. We managed to lose the middle, and we lost. No excuses, what are you doing? It's one of my buddy's friends. Disappointing, to say the least, to see someone drop out of a match. Hopefully he comes back. There we go. Cool. Hopefully that helped with the zone a little bit. Said it before and I'll stand by it. This does pretty well at being able to intercept heavies. We're already closing on this pancake. Yeah, I've knocked him out pretty easy there. Let's head back for the middle. The boom and zoom runs work out pretty well for us. Just because we have the ability to kind of get these guns on target a little bit easier than most. There we go. Akamatsu. Solid, solid. So since this plays like a heavy, you can almost hear it in my voice. I'm just like, yep. Flies pretty good. Very calm, relaxing flight. This is why I kind of like flying heavies. And maybe why I like this aircraft so much is it's just like a 262 that sacrificed some of the hit points in order to give you some maneuverability and allow you to do things like that. Alright. P-51 is fast, has good altitude performance, but was kind of in a bad energy state there. Come on. No, wasn't able to find it. It's okay. See ya. I know he can climb up here, but he can't climb at the rates that we can climb. This aircraft is actually really good at doing some climb maneuvers. We can go and snag a heel real quick. I see a heavy's inbound. But I'm willing to bet I can grab this real quick. Yeah, give me some wrench. There we go. Is this a human? Yeah, it is. I think he forgets what I am. I know he's got 30s, but he doesn't have these 30s. Now he just straightened out. Get too much blood in your eyes. Can't see what's around you. That means don't get angry. You play it with emotions, and they're not fun emotions. You're going to find yourself at a disadvantage to people who can keep a cooler head. Alright, you're more maneuverable than me, because this aircraft does not have a lot of turn capability, which is why I like to fly more like a heavy. What's he saying? Good game, guys, on one team. I don't know what that means. I think what he's trying to say is that I was at a disadvantage and I'm winning. So, you're welcome. Oh, sweet. Let's power through here. Okay. Never head on one of these bat wings, right? Okay. See target fixated? Because that's what I need. I need you to be more concerned about him than me. Cool. That's another one you don't want to head on is the F-94. But we can now turn him, which is nice. And we especially can now that he has no control surfaces left. There we go. Here are the sky. Sweet. I'm glad I picked that up. Which is also a grade 1 fighter. That's an F-84B, not to be confused with the F-94. He can still rocket me in the face if you got someone who knows how to do that type of stuff using 5-inch rockets, but they are not the air-to-air rockets. Alright, cool. Solid battle. GG. Oh, that was a good, decent amount of medals right there. Yeah, 2v1. 2v1, they had Air Rebel and Perfect on their team, and my IL-40 dropped out early, so you'll note that we kind of was bouncing around, capturing different zones, and used the airfield kind of as an offensive location because it allowed our ground attackers to spawn out and spread out from there, so it allowed us to get to the zones quicker. Any of you who've flown any Russian ground attackers or even some of the American bombers, you'll note that it's slower moving aircraft trying to get to a target zone, but once they get there, they can definitely capture it. So by creating a good spawn point, it allows you to be able to get those guys to where they need to be much more effectively. Yeah, it says that I can get the Focke-Wulf right now, but if I do that, then I'm going to lose a bunch of my free XP because I'm only up to, he says only, I'm only up to 84,000 experience points on this. Guys, I'll be dead honest with you. This hasn't been a grind at all. I think it kind of comes out in the gameplay here, but it's totally different than the 152. It does not have good maneuverability. I've given it kind of a balanced loadout here, but we're looking at 11.8 second turn time. We do have on here the G suit, which allows us to be able to get a little bit more maneuverability at higher speeds, which means I don't need to slow down to get a turn on somebody, which means I'm able to get those guns on target that much easier. The guns are very short range. If you've flown a 262, you know what it's like to use those guns. They're very slow shells, they're very big shells, they have very short range, but if you can get them to make contact, you're going to have a great day, because we're doing 800 damage a second in a tier 9 fighter, which is why I say it's more like a single engine 262, because if you take a look at, like, let's look at the Key 162, you're looking at 480 damage per second. The attacker here has 420. The LA 160 has 600 damage per second. And then you've got 510 here with the Yak 19. So when you're talking about damage output, This thing's carrying a lot when it comes to these 30mm cannons. So again, really enjoy this. A lot of people kind of call this the Bumblebee. In fact, when you first get the airframe, I was calling it the Bumblebee because of these little rounded wings. Doesn't that look like a little bumblebee there? Yeah. But then this is what it's like when you finally upgrade it. It kind of straightens out the wings a little bit, gives them a sharp edge, much like the Focke-Wulf 252 at tier 10. I mean, we can talk about that for just a second. The Focke-Wulf 252 is going to only have two 30mm cannons and is a bit of a different looking aircraft, kind of has more of that tail boom like you see on the 1101. But you see here that the damage output drops, but the rate of fire of the guns increases significantly. The rate of fire on these 30s compared to the rate of fire on the TA-183 is going to see a significant difference, as well as the range getting a little bit further. So you're increasing the amount of damage per gun, and the rate of fire on the 252 is going to be 330 rounds per minute opposed to 240, and with a longer range and a higher shell velocity, the 252's 30mm cannons are going to be easier to use. So coming off of the 183, you're going to find that it's going to be a little bit more viable when it comes to getting those shots at range to make contact, while this aircraft kind of relies a little bit more on finding people who are unaware, getting a good boom and zoom run in, and going against non-maneuvering targets. Again, flying it like a heavy, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that it flies like a fighter, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. Anyways, I've kind of babbled on enough about this airframe. We started the video a little bit later into the flight, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. It's been a while coming. I've had this sitting in the hangar for a while. I just wanted to get a good hang of it. And like I said before, it's not even a grind. I was looking at this the other day, and I've had the Key 162 and the Attacker and the Yak 19 longer than I've had this airframe, and I'm up to 84,000. And the Yak 19, I'm not even up to 64. Even the Attacker, I'm only up to 32,000, and I got this probably about a few days ago. And here I am in the 183, and I'm just ripping through it because it's so much fun to fly. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have something to look forward to if you are looking at going down this line off of the Focke-Wulf grind. This is going to be a continuation of my Focke-Wulf grind videos. We're over a year in the making of those videos, by the way, because it is such a long endeavor. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.